Scorpio, are you ready for your month? The month is July. The year is 2022. Your astrologer is the DT. That's me. Welcome. Great to have your company again. I'm going to get the wheels of life, of karma in motion here to show you what's happening to you in your month. And it's a big month. Trust me on that. Because your ruling planet Mars here, in the very first week of the month, transits out of Aries. It's had that lovely conjunction with Jupiter, bosom buddy Jupiter. It's going to move into your 7th house of relationships. That's very, very strong for activating new relationships. If you've got old relationships that have been a little bit worn out, this is going to inject some life into them. Oof. It's like a steroidal hit. Mars is the planet of action, drive, intensity, passion, all of those sorts of things that are associated with your sun sign. And so what we see here is a distinct shift of energy there, and all of those characteristics that I just mentioned being focused in on the relationships. Now, it's interesting because you've had this destabilizing influence of Uranus hitting this area of your horoscope for some years now. Mars can sometimes do the opposite, but Mars works well in the earth signs. It is, after all, exalted in Capricorn. It is very detailed in its efficient action in Virgo, but here in Taurus, it's determined to anchor itself, to work through those issues of your relationship in a very, very powerful and systematic way. Mars is very impulsive, but not so in these earth signs, which is why it's exalted in Capricorn. It's able to just contain itself a little, focus itself on what it needs. And that field of endeavor this month, Scorpio, is your relationships. Very focused there, very passionate there. You've got an important full moon here in the zone of communication on the 14th. Again, your secondary ruler is Pluto. So the full moon taking place there in this communication sector shows exactly that, communications that are destined, note the word destined, to give you a new perspective on life and karma. Mercury's involved in that, so we can see the transformational nature of the communications that you have. The Sun is there with Mercury in the 9th house. This is a spiritual house along with the 12th house. And I mentioned that 12th house because if you keep your eye there on Venus, it is going to have something to say about this connection. And why is it spiritual rather than legal? Could be long journeys. There's a couple of areas that this could play out. After the 19th, there it is. It's made its move. This 9th house. It's because Venus rules your 12th house. 12th house is spirituality, unraveling the secrets of nature, unraveling the secrets of one's own self, an even more complicated task. But it moves up here just as Mercury moves to your 10th house of career. Notice here Venus also ruling the 12th house of long journeys and the 9th house of long journeys, emigration, long distance connections. So there's a couple of areas there that are playing out. There may be some more travel in store for you as Venus makes its way through this 9th house of your horoscope. More education, a bit more desire to learn things. And that may be tied in with your career, as Mercury, the natural significator of education, focuses you in on learning some new skills, along with the fact that the Sun in that 10th house after July 23, look at that. Such a powerful combination, Scorpio. Big things ahead of you for your career. Note here, Leo is ruled by the Sun. So as this Sun moves into the 10th house of career, big things are going to happen. It's a big month for you financially as well. That may not be so evident yet. That's because Jupiter, which is here in your 6th house, ruling your finances, ruling the 5th house of speculation, is in a weak or growing house, what we call a growing sector. On the 28th, it goes stationary, then retrograde on the 29th, along with this new moon, which is in a nice aspect to Jupiter here from the 10th house. Now, that 10th house new moon is very, very telling. It shows us a very new direction for those of you born under Scorpio. If you've been in a dead-end job, if you've been... I'm being attacked. Is that an omen for you? A winged creature flying through my office as I talk about you getting into a new direction, a new path, flying high, all of these keywords which are representative of this. The retrogression of Jupiter shows a reappraisal of the way you've been earning money. So this is a beautiful reading this month for you, and one that I'm happy for, because I'm a selfish astrologer and I'm a Scorpio too, as many of you know. So, shh. There's more on this. Wait, there's more. There's always more. Astrology.com.au. We've got the chronological transits, which will give you some of the other transits I haven't mentioned here. We've got the subscribe button too, which I forgot to mention. Did you see that? You got an itchy finger? Subscribe. It's easy to do and very nice for me, you know. Drop me a line. Love to hear from you. We can conduct a reading for you. Mid-year, you might want to know what's happening for the rest of the year. And of course, I'd love to see you back here next month. Take care. Bye from me.